Hello guys, and today this is name aka Chidav, and hope you guys are doing amazingly well. In this video I'm basically going to be teaching you guys how to apply fertilizer into your yams and sacks. So if you're pondering or wondering how am I going to go about application of fertilizer in my yam sack, just relax, that is all I'm going to be doing in this very video. So right now guys, if you haven't smashed on the subscribe button yet, punch on it right now, turn on your notification bell and do what to like this video, because we are diving in and we are going to be learning a whole lot as regards how to apply fertilizer into our yams planted in sacks. So guys, let us dive in. Hello guys, welcome. This is an open field and this is our heap. So if we are to apply our fertilizer, all we just need to do is, if we open a point here, as I'm doing, if you open a point here and then we apply a fertilizer, what will happen is the roots will just travel down to that point. Even if you apply it here, around here, the roots can as well travel down to this point and then tap the nutrient. And what happens, because this is the open field, then it will be very possible for the nutrient to even leach. So even if you apply quite a large quantity of seed, quite a large quantity of nutrient, you can have some of them leaching out, and then all of the roots of the yam is not concentrated at one point, so some would have traveled that way and then some would tap the nutrient from here and then take to the plant, and then some other ones are traveling somewhere else and looking for source of nutrients or food for the plant. So that is how it works, and that is why even when you over apply the when you go beyond recommended rates on the open field, it doesn't really have any adverse effect on your crop. But then when you do it, when you cultivate in sacks, then you are inviting doom on your plant, because the concentration is going to be so intense that it's going to kill the plant eventually. So that is why you have to be careful when you cultivate or when you are applying your nutrients, which is your inorganic fertilizer, into your yams cultivated or planted in sacks. So that's just what I wanted to call your attention to, because I know a couple of persons have really asked me how am I going to go about applying fertilizer into my yam in sacks. So that's why I had to make these two comparisons, so that you know the difference. This is a heap and this is an open field. I'm also going to show you another heap. So this is another heap here. So you see it's a totally different thing. This is another heap here and this is our open field. So they are just a whole lot different. So you just need to understand this, and that would inform you on how to go about with the application of your fertilizer, inorganic fertilizer, into your yam and sack. So someone asks, how about the organic fertilizer, which is your cow dung, your poultry dung, your PSF RAS? If you are using any of those, there's really no known effect. It doesn't really have any major effect, even if it's in very high concentration, because of the fact that everything is not available to the plant at once. Even if you apply everything, it will be released to the plant gradually, and they are organic. They don't really have any known effect on the plant. So that's why when even you apply your organic manures in large quantity, it doesn't really have any effect. It doesn't kill the plant. But your inorganic, which is your NPK fertilizer, would definitely kill your plant when the concentration is high and they are in sacks. So note this and make sure you do the right things, okay? All right, so let's dive in back into the field, and then let's show you how to go about doing that in sack. I'm going to be showing you guys how to go about applying fertilizer in your yam and sack. It's a different ball game from when you do it on the open field. All right, so on the open field you can just do this. Go to your heap. Probably, let's say this is your heap of, if this is your heap of yam, all you need to do is just create a part and then you apply. I don't want to waste it. You apply your fertilizer into it. But then if you are cultivating in sack, it's a different ball game. If you do that in your sack and then you apply this much quantity into the sack, you are going to lose your yam at the end of the day. It won't even take time. Within few days you start seeing that the vines are already dying. So because this is what happens, you know, on the open field, the root of the yam has space to travel. So even if you don't put it directly on or very close to the, because you're not supposed to put it on the vines in the first place, it's gonna kill, because they are corrosive. They would kill the vines. So even if you put it, that is, I'm talking about the open field now, even if you put it, let's say you put it a bit, some 7 to 10 centimeters away from the heap or very close to the heap, and you apply your fertilizer, then what's going to happen, the root has the luxury of traveling down to that point and then tapping from that very point. But in the sack, the roots are compounded in the sack. They don't have the freedom that it would if it was on the open field to travel about and then have access to the nutrient. So here we have to be very careful. This fertilizer is inorganic, very highly concentrated in the nutrient, and that is why when we want to apply it into our yam in sack, planted in sack, we have to be very careful. It's totally different from when you want to do it on the open field. So here in sack, if maybe we want to probably do like, we want to apply this quantity, or maybe if a sack is supposed to get this amount of NPK for it to grow, okay, we cannot apply everything at once. We have to ensure that we do it in bits. So in sack we do the application in bits, because if you do it once, it is concentrated. We don't have, when it comes to leaching, the roots are concentrated, are compound, and don't really have the freedom to travel or go places in the sack. It is compounded or concentrated in the sack. So when you do that, the NPK is gonna just be too corrosive. It's gonna be too concentrated on the yam, and then it's gonna kill it. So that is why at the end of the day you see that the yams die. So it's not because of they don't want the nutrient, it's just because of, at that point, the quantity of the nutrient or the fertilizer is just way too much for it to handle. So what you need to do, as a matter of agronomic practice, all you need to do is what you ensure you apply in bit. All you need to do, and when you are applying, you don't make a hole. Come close please. Don't make a hole like you would on the open field and then apply it there. No, all you need to do is you make it very small. If you can get like 8 grains, just sprinkle it around. Sprinkle it around about 8 grains, very small. You sprinkle it around, but don't allow it to touch the vine. You sprinkle it around. You make sure they are very small. Now why you need to do this is that, I told you are going to be doing it in bits. So you sprinkle it around, you do it in bits. So once these ones dissolve, because once it rains now they will dissolve and the plant will take the nutrient. So once they dissolve, maybe after 2 weeks again, or you give it say 3 weeks, you apply another set of fertilizer. So that is how you actually apply fertilizer when you plant in sack. If you want to apply everything at once, you will just end up killing your plant. And so that is what we do. So the fertilizer we're using here is NPK 15-15-15. So that is what you should use, and would help. Nitrogen is good for the growth and all of that. So P and K would help with the root and then with the tuber development. So that is why you need NPK 15-15-15. We usually don't recommend you using 20-10-10 because 20-10-10 is just going to help boost, except if had it been yam is a foliar crop, or what we're looking for on this yam is the leaf, then you can do more of urea, or you can do more 20-10-10. But because we need something well balanced, that is why we're using NPK 15-15-15, because of the various functions of these nutrients. Your nitrogen functions well, is responsible for the growth and then development in terms of leaf, and is also responsible for the deep green color you get to see on this yam leaf. So that is it. These are just the basic function. Probably in subsequent video I get to explain in details the various functions of each of these nutrients, so that you understand the right nutrient to apply to your crop. So for right now, that is how you apply your NPK 15-15 on your field. So that's it guys. That was so amazing. We've been able to learn a whole lot about the application of fertilizer into our yams and sacks. So that is the right way to go about it. You do it in bits, don't overload it, because if you overload it, you kill your yam at the end of the day and you run at a loss. But we don't want you to do that, and that is why we are bringing this video to you, so you could learn from our experiment and things we've carried out or worked on various experimental sites. And that is why we are saying do not make similar mistakes, and that is why we are here at Chidavagriculturalhub to help you get established the right way. So at this point in time guys, if you want to establish your field, you've got any field you want to establish, crop field, and you need the best hands to come help you set it up, hit us up at Chidavagriculturalhub. We are going to be super glad to come help you out, do it the right way, so that you get the best out of your field. Bye for now guys. Peace.